So I just moved the tractor here. I'm gonna go ahead and come over here, get underneath and take that drain plug out of the transmission. The PTO, I've replaced that seal once before on the midpoint PTO, but I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of it completely now. Build a block off plate for it. Go ahead and machine something that'll fit, be just a block off plate. Just need to figure out how I'm gonna do the drain plug on it.
Come on, you're watching the Uncle Mike YouTube channel. Stick around.
I just pulled that drain plug. It's going smoothly. Oil looks great. It's draining out. It looks good probably because I keep adding oil to it because this doggone PTO shaft's leaking for the second time. So I'm not going to replace the seal like I said earlier. Building a block off plate. PTO delete. There's a roll pin that goes right there. I hammered it out. I gotta take this gear off to pull the actual PTO shaft out. So, a little bit going on here. So I got that seal removed. It's sitting right there. And now I just thought of something. What if I just didn't go get a freeze plug, put some sealant on it, and drive it in here? Wouldn't even have to machine nothing. See if that'll work. So folks, quick little trip to the store. Got a freeze plug. It's a Dorman 555-073, and this thing is just a grunt, bigger than that seal housing on this forward PTO. Now I've examined the tractor. You can read in the forms; they tell you it don't matter, but I examined in the tractor to make sure that this is the upper gear. So this is the PTO would be right under it, about where my beard is. PTO shaft splines there and comes out the front of this housing. And then this mates to the PTO shaft for the rear up top. There are no bearings near it. There's nothing around it. It should assemble in there without any of that installed, without any ill effect. As you can see, I've got this thing in there 1/16 all the way around, nicely pressed in. I had to swap over to a smaller socket because I didn't account for shrinkage trying to drive this thing in. So, but it went right in, nice and smooth. So I've got an idea, because now I run the risk of something blowing this thing sideways or popping a hole in it. See that hole? It looks like one could go right there, don't it? Build a cover plate just to cover that thing, just to protect it from something blowing into this freeze plug and putting a hole in it or knocking it sideways so it lets the oil drain. So using some CAD, I went ahead and traced this. Got that hole perfect right there. Yeah, there she is. And then that's where my new hole is going to be, is right there. I'm going to go ahead and drill into this thing. So I've got, it's about close enough for me. I'm just under 1.5 inches here. I'm at what do you call it? 1 4/10 there. So I'll go ahead and call that good enough. So this thing worked out beautifully. Let me hold it at an angle so you can see I hand tapped it. That one's tapped. I mean, that was already like that, but I drilled and tapped that one right there. Now I just gotta go get a piece of steel here and build me a little block off plate because I don't want another stick pushing that thing in there. Because I still run the same chance of a stick pushing that freeze plug in as I did with the seal. That's why I've replaced one. Second time I said I'm done with it. Freeze plug, block off plate, done deal. Now I can't find any of my steel, but I ran to the store and picked this up. I'll go ahead and trace this out. My template barely just fits. I need a workbench. I know it's a doggone show out here, but I got clearance. I'm gonna use the stamped edge here for the top, and then just cut around that. So that'll be thick enough just to keep from anything. Oh, that's terrible. But there you go. It ain't too thick. I think that's about a 1/16 if I had to guess. And just a little cover plate to keep things from blasting this plug. A little bit of paint on that thing, and I got a perfect cover plate. I've got this thing prepped and cleaned. GoPro's dead again. I need to get a new battery or something, but go ahead and slap her in there, huh? I'll let that set up for a little bit, and then I'll torque it, and then I'm gonna fill it and make sure this doesn't leak before I put this cover plate on. Now, I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but the last time I replaced this seal, I couldn't get that filter off. It was tighter than heck. And then I went and got a strap wrench. I took it off, and then no one had the filter. So I ordered it online, and then I just never took it off to replace it. So, second time taking all this doggone fluid out, go ahead and replace the hydraulic filter. Now this thing's only got 250 hours on it or something similar to that. 242. So, new filter on there. Should be good to go. So I've had fluid sitting in her for a week, and this thing's as dry as could be. Nothing. So I think it's safe to say it's good, and go ahead and put that cover plate on, and I can get this thing back on the road. Well, not the road, but back on the property, I guess. Back in service. Come out. So I cleaned all that up, and I've got everything saturated in oil, so hopefully it doesn't rust. Now I'm going to double bag this thing and put it in a box and hang on to it in case I ever want to use it again.